I've spoken before about the fact that we go to our local grocery store and we pick up their garbage. This is all refuse from half a day of them cutting produce, and this is only half of it. We donate another half to another family. You see, the chickens love the seeds from the honeydew melons and the cantaloupes and the watermelons. Of course, chickens are garbage disposals anyway. But look at all of this we have, the cucumbers and all the different, different lettuces, and bell pepper. Here's pineapple. Now, pineapple we feed to the chickens, but we don't feed to the rabbits because there's so much sugar in it, it gives them gas. But the rabbits love cantaloupe, they love the watermelon, honeydew melon, the strawberries, they love it all. And of course, the chickens are loving it. And of course, they just go after it. We give it to them, and they think that's really good stuff. Munch, munch, munch. How we do this, and just a few tips on how we accomplish this. First of all, you've got to go to a higher level grocery store. A low-income grocery store, they don't typically cut up the watermelon and the cantaloupe and make fruit baskets or have vegetable trays and that kind of thing. When folks go into those grocery stores, they'll typically buy an entire watermelon or a cantaloupe and go home and cut it themselves. They're not going to pay that extra. So you need to go to the higher end store. This particular store that we go to, like I said, they cut every day, 7 days a week. And this is half of a day. This is half of a day's waste that they have. The other thing is, when you go to the higher end stores, you're going to get a better product, obviously. You'll get a little higher end. Let me show you this real quick. We have this on just a sifting grate system, and that way I can wash the lettuces. Obviously, the interior of the melons and things we don't really need to wash, but we do. We wash it off just to make sure it's good and clean, and that there isn't anything on there that's going to harm the animals at all, or harm us, the animals. So we've got that going on. Another thing is, as I said earlier, this is waste. So when you go to the produce manager, you go to the store manager, they may want to send you through the charitable donations portion of their corporation. And you can do that, but what they're going to tell you when you get there is to go back to the store and tell them this has no value. I mean, it actually has, it costs them to get rid of it. If people will take it off their hands, it's actually saving them money. It has no value, so it cannot be a charitable donation. So you don't have to go through that process and get on that list. And it does help them to know that they're taking their waste and they're creating food for animals. They're creating more food. They're creating compost. They're creating all these things in a regenerative cycle. This is also a great way for someone who is in a neighborhood, a subdivision, and doesn't have a lot of property, doesn't have access to pasture. This is a great way for them to supplement their diet of their animals. You know, you don't want to always be feeding pellets, even organic. You know, if you can, we're just like us. A variety in the diet gives them a variety of fibers. It gives them a variety of minerals. It gives them a variety of all the things that they need to produce good eggs, to produce good food, to produce good meat. So if you're in a neighborhood or you're just starting off, this is a great way. As far as saving money, you know, we're just really not in the mode. You know, aren't driven to YouTube videos that say build a greenhouse for under $20. That's just not our motivation. That's not what we're doing. We're willing to spend the money to get something good and have it last us a long time. So we're not really trying to cut our feed bill, but the animals just love it. I mean, show you again, I'll spin you around. The chickens are going after it. They are, you can see they're cleaning out the cantaloupe and just going after the seeds. They love it. And so good nutrition, good food that we can create food out of, it's a win-win for everybody. So remember those things. One is, you got to go to a higher end grocery store where they're creating those fruit bowls and the salad plates. We also make, I don't think I mentioned this. We don't have any here, but we also get day old salads. We get their sushi. You know, we get all sorts of things from them that we can use. And those are all at the higher end grocery stores. Secondly, higher end grocery stores are going to have a better product, a cleaner product, probably closer to an organic or an heirloom product, depending on what store you go to. And thirdly, yeah, you can cut your food bill, but more than anything, you give a full spectrum of food for your animals, and everybody likes a plate full of good stuff. You know, I mean, that's just the way it is. So there you go. May this be helpful, especially those folks that are just starting off and you're in a neighborhood or you're in an apartment. You're just, you know, you're just somewhere where you're trying to get to where you can do something. And may this be a helpful start to you, that you can get going. Amen. Amen. Let me go feed some animals.